Hey everybody, what's going on? Bro Guy Jesse here, back with another toy talk. Now, the G.I. Joe Snowcat has ended, and it actually did less than what I predicted. But before we get into this, let's talk about something else that I really want to address with Hasbro, and that is their Hasbro Pulse Premium membership. Now, extra $50, you get free shipping and everything like that. And I think a lot of people have the same sentiment that this membership is pointless. And if Hasbro really wanted to do something and actually make more money at it, at the same time, what they would do is revamp this entire premium membership. What they should do, instead of early access, you should have a window of pre-order where you're guaranteed that pre-order. So say you have a 2-week period to pre-order that item. After that, and this is what the membership is for, that 2-week window. After that 2-week window is over, then you have to fight along among the rest of us, just like everyone else. But you're guaranteed that pre-order. That would be the smartest thing. And it's not just the pre-orders that they have. Do the partner exclusive pre-orders. So your Targets, your Walmarts, your whatever else. Make them all available for your Hasbro Pulse Premium members. It just makes sense. And then your seasonal sales that you have that anyways. And then the stuff that doesn't sell, you just give to Ollies, which we already know that. That's where we go toy hunting anyways. And then the exclusive content, I really don't want to pay $50 to see an extra YouTube video. This is something that Hasbro should look at because it would help them out. A hell of a lot of people would actually sign up for this membership if that was the case. If you're guaranteed a pre-order, especially one of these hard to find ones, or your con exclusives, which Hasbro, and it's not just Hasbro, Mattel and a lot of these other companies are guilty of this, to where they let the scalpers just run the market. If they did something to enforce that, like a pre-order window to get it, the scalpers wouldn't be that big of an issue. But it's just something to consider. Hopefully somebody from Hasbro is listening to this. Push it along because it will help you. Okay, back to the Snowcat. Now the Snowcat, my prediction was around 20,000, or I think I said a little over 20,000. But I also predicted that this thing would have hit funding, just the base 8,000 by the second week. It didn't do that either. It slowly crept along until it actually funded, which at the very end, I didn't think it was going to hit all 3 tiers, but it did. But still, they should address why they only got 16,000 backers instead of higher. Because when you look at it, this is the poorest performing G.I. Joe HasLab that they've actually had, which honestly I think it's because of what it was. The snow theme, honestly, if they did a Jungle Cat, it probably would have done better, because when it comes down to it, you don't have that many snow themed figures for a vehicle this size. I mean, I don't even think they have army builders in a snow theme. So, I mean, they do in Cobras, but they don't in Joes. So, I think that was probably the major issue. It was for me. That's why I didn't get it. I just don't care for snow themed anything. But the other thing I think was an issue here was the price. I do think this was too expensive for what it was. This was actually the same price as their previous HasLab, the Rattler, but this should have been cheaper. There's no reason it should have been this price. I think it would have done much better if it was $100 or even like $80 cheaper. Because with all that's offered, I don't see the price for that. I don't see it worth that price. Now, it will go up a little in price, but even if you look at all these other HasLabs that are on eBay and stuff like that, selling them, they don't go above 500 really. The only HasLab, which isn't a G.I. Joe, that has gone way above 500 is actually the Marvel Legends Sentinel. That is the only one that comes to mind that just goes up in price, which I think once I saw it for around $1,000 on eBay being sold for that, like actually sold, which is crazy. But when it comes down to it, this is the least performing G.I. Joe classified, because this is the Rattler at 16. This was actually the wellest performing G.I. Joe HasLab, which was surprising to me because this is the one I didn't get because I didn't really care for it. But the one before that was the least performing one, which was the Dragonfly. It actually had about 2,000 less than the Rattler, which is surprising because it looks amazing. I have this and I still have not opened it, so I might be doing an unboxing of this sometime in the future because I do need to display it. And then the first one, the Hiss Tank, that sold, well, that funded in a day. I don't even think it lasted 5 hours before it fully funded. I mean, that's why they added the Retro Cobra Commander, because it funded so quickly. Well, I think he was an early bird. Like if it hit funding a certain time, you got it. But yeah, it funded in a day, which I did get this, and I don't have it anymore just because size issues. Well, not size issues, but space issues. Yeah, I'm just worried in the state of Hasbro right now because they have been having issues, especially firing people and not rehiring staff, and just along, which I'm going to get into this more in a couple weeks when I have a sit down with somebody else who's part of a channel much bigger than mine. But yeah, so stay tuned for that because that will be happening within the next month. This should have done so much more than it did. Like it should have hit 20,000, and I really think it's the price and the theme of what it was. Because when it comes down to it, these HasLabs are supposed to be dream projects. Now, is this actually a dream project? Was this actually the biggest one that they said it was the biggest? But if you look at the size, it wasn't that big compared to, it was similar in size to the Hiss Tank, which, I mean, it's a little wider, but the Hiss Tank's taller. Yeah, I'm worried about the state of Hasbro because it doesn't look like they have the best interests of their fans in mind, especially since G.I. Joe is their second biggest IP right behind Transformers. But G.I. Joe fan base is probably the most diehard fan base that they have, if you're not counting their sister companies, Wizard of the Coast, because Magic players are, I think, literally insane. But I'm worried for the state of future HasLabs, especially if they keep, well, I mean, they were same price as last time, but I think the Rattler overall was just far bigger than the Snowcat. So I think there's a lot more plastic involved in the Snowcat. Well, not in the Snowcat, the Rattler anyways, but still, I'm just worried about what the next Marvel Legends HasLab is going to be. I have no idea what that's going to be, if they're even going to have one. And then the state of that Star Wars HasLab is, yeah, I don't think that thing's going to fund at all. But again, I'm happy for anybody who actually got this because, you know, it's what they enjoy. And these companies really need to focus on the fan base, which it doesn't look like a lot of these companies are. Like Hasbro and Mattel, it doesn't look like they're focusing on their fan base, because if they were, they wouldn't let these scalpers run wild all over their fans, which there is ways they can prevent the scalper problem. And that is reissuing these toys that people are trying to get, leaving open the pre-order windows longer so people are able to get them. You take the scalpers out at the knees. I don't think a lot of these companies care, especially people that are in charge of Hasbro right now, because the CEO doesn't even care about running a toy company. He wants to run an entertainment company. He's actually said that. He wants to run an entertainment company. That's why he's licensing out his IPs to other companies. And that's why he's focusing on video games, which they should not do. Because, again, I've been seeing the people you're hiring for that. and they've completely tanked their previous companies. So why would you hire them to run that division? But again, this project funded. I'm glad it funded. I knew it was going to fund. And I hope everybody that did get it loves it. And guys, we're all in the same community. We're allowed to speak positive and negatively about a company, especially a company that we all love, we all grew up with. We don't want to see it go away. That's why we need to make our voices heard so they understand, hey, this is how we feel. Some of us love you. Some of us are very frustrated with you. I'm not saying any of this out of hate. I'm saying it out of wanting Hasbro to succeed and last in the future. And the way I see it, it doesn't look like they're going to do that. I want to see Hasbro stick around. I don't want our generation to be the last toy collecting generation. I want future generations to also want to collect toys. Because the way it looks right now, that's not going to be a thing. But anyways, guys, as always, life is tough. Enjoy the little things.
Action figures lined up on the shelf. Jesse's breaking boxes by himself. He ain't gentle, nah, he ain't nice. Ripping open dreams just to slice the price. Hey, hey, watch him fly.